1998, Telluride, Colorado. Frances Arsenteev stood beneath the clear spring sky, hugging her young son one last time before boarding a plane bound for Nepal. She wasn't famous. Not then. Just a soft-spoken American woman with a dream forged in quiet determination to become the first American woman to summit Mount Everest without supplemental oxygen. But what began as a historic climb would soon become one of the most chilling and paranormal-infused mysteries ever whispered from the slopes of the world's highest graveyard. Frances arrived in Kathmandu with her husband Sergei, both experienced climbers, both ready for history. As they ascended Everest's icy steps in May, the mountain loomed with a stillness that seemed to watch them. Locals called the peak Chomolungma, goddess mother of the world. It was more than rock and ice. It was a living entity, ancient and unforgiving. Few Westerners understood that. Fewer respected it. They summited, but it came at a price. They had no oxygen, and time was running out. A storm moved in. Frances became separated from Sergei during the descent. Days passed. Then, she was found, barely alive, by Uzbek climbers. She couldn't walk. She was frostbitten, slipping in and out of consciousness. They gave her oxygen and tried to help, but the conditions were too extreme. They had to leave her behind. When other climbers passed her the next day, they found her still there, lying in the snow at over 8,000 meters, unable to speak, eyes pleading. No one could help. She died where she lay, peaceful, frozen, her arms by her side, her face turned slightly upward, as if sleeping. They called her Sleeping Beauty. And then, the strange part began. That same season, several climbers reported something disturbing. Near the same spot where Frances had died, they claimed to see a woman in purple gear, Frances's exact clothing, sitting upright, staring blankly into space. But when they approached, she was gone. A Japanese team radioed for assistance after seeing a motionless figure in the snow. When rescue was dispatched, no one was there. Then came the voices. Climbers began reporting hearing a woman's voice at night above Camp 4, softly whispering, "Don't leave me." Some thought it was the wind. Others knew better. In such high altitudes, hallucinations are common. But this wasn't just disoriented climbers hearing things. These were repeated accounts from different teams in different years, all describing the same voice, the same feeling of being watched, followed, of not being alone. One Sherpa, deeply spiritual, left an oxygen canister at her old resting place. That night, he dreamt of a woman in purple smiling at him, saying only, "Thank you." He refused to ever climb that road again. Over time, her body became a landmark, a reference point. Climbers passed her like a frozen statue, too familiar to be feared, until her image began showing up in their dreams. In 2007, a group of climbers led a mission called the Tao of Everest to respectfully move her body off the main trail. They covered her with stones and a flag. After that, some say the voices stopped, but others insist they only moved deeper into the mountain. Many believe Frances's soul became trapped, unable to descend like her body never could. But others say the haunting didn't begin with her. It began centuries before her final climb. That's the part most people never hear. Everest is not just a mountain. It is considered a spiritual gate, a place where souls pass into the next world. According to Tibetan lore, it is guarded by deities who protect its sacred ground. Those who climb it must do so with humility, or the mountain takes what it is owed. Locals speak of hungry ghosts trapped in the death zone, souls who perished without ritual, wandering restlessly in the cold. Frances wasn't just the victim of frostbite or exhaustion. Some believe her fate was sealed the moment she attempted the summit without oxygen, against warnings, against local belief. To some Sherpas, it wasn't just dangerous, it was an insult to the goddess. And the mountain, they say, answered. The twist? Sergei, her husband, disappeared trying to rescue her. Days later, his body was found much lower on the mountain, but his ice axe, engraved with her name, was never recovered. Some say it still rests near her final spot. Others believe it vanished completely, as if taken. To this day, climbers report flickers of purple in the snow near her old site. Lights with no source. Soft footsteps behind them when they're alone. Radios picking up static, and the faint sound of breathing. Frances Arsentiev never made it home, but her story didn't end on Everest. It became part of something larger, a warning, a presence, a lingering breath frozen in the highest air on Earth. Not everyone believes in ghosts, but on Mount Everest, where death is common and the air is thin, belief isn't required, only silence. And when that silence breaks, some say it's the wind, others still say it's her.